We learned 7 people were killed in a North Carolina plane crash, including NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife and kids. Right now, federal investigators are on the ground in Iredell County at the scene of that fiery crash, trying to figure out what went wrong. Ever since this happened, condolences have been pouring in from the NASCAR community and beyond. Biffle was a beloved athlete and also a philanthropist. WRAL's Brian Schrader tracking the latest developments in the WRAL Live Center. And Brian, it's not just the NASCAR community, but the impact he had in Western North Carolina after Helene is profound.
Absolutely. Biffle and other private pilots got together after Helene last year and took it on themselves to fly supply missions to some of the hardest hit areas in Western North Carolina. Franklin Graham, whose Samaritan's Purse organization was a big part of the response in Western North Carolina last year after Helene, talked about Biffle's impact there, saying he was a pilot, used his own helicopter to deliver aid and help rescue people stranded in the mountains of Western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. Also, we're hearing from North Carolina's U.S. Senator Ted Budd, talking again about how Greg was a North Carolina hero, loved by many, who flew hundreds of rescue and supply missions throughout Western North Carolina. And now the attention turns to what caused that plane to crash after only about 10 minutes in the air this morning in Statesville, North Carolina. Here's an update on the investigation now from WRAL's Destiny Patterson.
Known for his accomplishments on the racetrack and his service off of it, the community is coming to terms with the death of Greg Biffle and 6 others. The NASCAR driver's Cessna C550 crashed Thursday, ending in flames at the Statesville Regional Airport. An aviation expert tells me investigators will need to determine whether the crash was the result of an engine failure and or foggy and wet weather conditions. State Highway Patrol says the agency can't definitively name any of the people on board because of the fire.
Unless we can look at an image and look at a person, we just can't tell you for sure who those people are.
But close friend Garrett Mitchell, also known as Cletus McFarland, confirmed the 55-year-old, his wife, and 2 children were on their way to see him in Florida. NASCAR also confirmed Craig Wadsworth, Dennis Dutton, and his son Jack died in the crash.
Biffle wins at Michigan.
As details of the crash become public, friends of Biffle are grieving an unimaginable loss. NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe called it a tough day in our community. He wrote, "The Biff obviously made a big impact on the track, but it doesn't even come close to the impact he made off the track." In recent years, Biffle has become known for his humanitarian efforts after he used his personal helicopter to drop off supplies in hard-to-reach areas during Hurricane Helene. The victims' families released a joint statement saying, quote, "This tragedy has left all of our families heartbroken beyond words. At this moment, our focus is on honoring their lives and supporting one another." Destiny Patterson, WRAL News.
I remember trying to interview Biffle during the Helene aftermath and recovery. The only time he made himself available for me was 7 a.m. because he was so busy from sunrise to sunset helping the folks in Western North Carolina. You can count on WRAL to follow developments on this story on air and online.